Caleb Styx woke up to the faint smell of antiseptic. His whole body ached, and the light hurt his eyes. He tried to move, but his right arm was bandaged and his ribs throbbed with pain. The last thing he remembered was the accident, the crash, the glass, the screams, then darkness. "You're in the hospital," he heard the nurse say. A young woman in a white coat stood by his bed, smiling politely, but her eyes remained cold. "You're awake, that's good." Caleb tried to ask where he was, but instead of words, a wheeze escaped his throat. "Don't worry," she patted him on the shoulder. "You've been transferred to room 6. It's quiet here. You'll be able to recover." He fell back asleep. He woke up in the middle of the night. The room was dark. Only moonlight penetrated through the blinds. There was an empty bed in the corner. Only him. But in the darkness, someone was breathing quietly. Caleb strained his ears. The sound came from behind the curtain separating part of the ward. He was not alone. He croaked, "Who's there?" There was no answer, only hoarse, uneven breathing, as if someone was struggling to exhale, pausing between breaths. He tried to get up, but pain shot through his side. He froze. Then he heard a rustle. Quiet, barely discernible, as if someone was slowly approaching, and the breathing grew closer, very close. "Nurse!" Caleb shouted, but his voice was weak, almost a whisper. The door swung open, the light burning his eyes. "What happened?" The same nurse entered, looking at him with slight irritation. "There's someone there!" He pointed to the curtain. She walked over to the curtain and pulled it back sharply. Behind it was empty, only the second bed covered with clean sheets. "You must have imagined it," she said, pulling the curtain back. "It happens after trauma." But as she left, Anton noticed faint marks on the clean sheet, as if someone had been lying there just a moment ago. The next morning, an elderly doctor came into the ward. "Styx, how are you feeling?" "Who else is in the ward?" Caleb asked immediately. The doctor looked at him strangely. "Are you here alone?" Caleb couldn't believe it. He had heard that breathing, that rustling, and seen those marks. He spent the day in anxiety, listening to every sound. No one else came. The nurse no longer smiled. She looked him in the eyes. And strangely, food was brought only for him. But once the plate was empty, as if someone had already eaten. He decided to keep quiet. At night, the breathing returned. Quiet, uneven, then a whisper. Caleb froze. He tried to reach for the nurse call button, but it didn't work. The whisper grew louder. "Give me back my bed!" The curtain trembled. Someone was standing behind it, a human shadow, but twisted as if the body had been turned inside out. Caleb closed his eyes. "This isn't happening to me. It's all a dream." He opened his eyes and froze. The figure was standing next to him, leaning toward him, a pale, disfigured face, empty eye sockets, a mouth with an IV drip hanging from it. He screamed. The next morning, the doctors found him in a catatonic state, his eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling. He did not respond to words or touch. Ward number 6 was sealed off again. "This is the third case in 6 months," said the orderly, closing the door. "First the girl. She was also saying something about breathing. Then that old man." "Maybe we should transfer the patient to another ward?" asked the nurse. "Where? There are no places, and no one is discharged from Ward 6. They only take people away."
From the notes of Nurse Evelyn Blackwood, found in the doctor's office closet a week after her disappearance. April 12, Ward number 6 is occupied again. They brought in a young man. Accident, fractures, concussion, nothing unusual, except that his gaze is too anxious for someone who has just regained consciousness. April 13. The patient complains of noises at night, saying that someone is breathing in the dark. Again, everything is the same as before. I tried to convince myself that it was a coincidence, but no, it keeps happening. Every time it's the same scenario, and the curtain, damn it, trembles as if someone is behind it. April 14. I decided to look at the archives. There is a file on this first patient. He died in agony. Before he died, he screamed, "He's here! He's in my bed!" His name is Platonov, too. I checked the bed occupancy log. The strangest thing is that he was never discharged. No one recorded his death. According to the documents, he is still listed in ward number 6. April 15. I can't go in there anymore. That ward is alive. Platonov is still there. He hasn't left, and now he won't give up his place. He considers everyone who lies there a thief. I'm leaving, or at least trying to, although someone knocked on my closet last night. I thought it was a rat, but now I heard someone breathing in the dark, just like that, exactly like that. If you are reading this, do not enter Ward 6. It is not empty, and someone is still waiting there. Last entry in the diary. Evelyn Blackwood was never seen again. 2 days later, the door to Ward 6 was found open. There were dents in both beds, as if someone had been sleeping there. There was hair on the pillow. 2 types, one human, the other black, as if charred. The room was sealed off, temporarily, but the curtain inside sometimes rippled as if from someone's breath.